capital projects or projects you're looking at this year, and what over and above you're looking at this year versus last year?
Jay Watson with Public Works. So we handle.
I just didn't hear. I can't hear you very well.
You're not amplified, Jay. You're just recorded.
Talk louder. Okay. Jay Watson, Director of Public Works. We handle public roads and drainage throughout St. Tammany Parish. We have roughly about 230 people, give or take, in our department at any given time. And I think we're talking about the capital assets that we've requested this year. On page 2, we start with a sign shop printer for Tyler Street. So we have a crew of 3 people that handle our signs across the parish. This is street name signs, stop signs, speed limit signs, all the different various signs you see on your roadways. And we have been putting off kind of repairs and replacement of a sign shop printer to handle getting those signs made. So that was our first request. That's for all, pretty much the street name signs, but there's different various signs that it also handles. So if you have...
So this is replacing or repairing that machine?
Replacing. This will be a replacement of this machine. It's reached the end of its useful life.
What's the lifeblood then? 10 years?
I think we've had this one for about 10 years, 10, 12 years. The second item we have under the Public Works budget, yes, sir. No, sir.
The capital asset, the one we started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the second page on the capital assets, I believe. Third page.
Oh, okay.
So 100-4608, Public Works Airport Barn is the second item we have on there. This is fuel docks and fuel tanks. Right now, this year, we're replacing our fuel tanks, or not replacing, we are bolstering the fuel tanks that we have at our 59 barn. We're adding 2 5,000-gallon tanks, one for diesel and one for gasoline. So we're looking to replicate that at the airport barn this year to have 1 5,000-gallon fuel tank for gasoline and 1 5,000-gallon for diesel. And then we have a fuel man system that records the gallons and the vehicle and the user that's putting it all in, that tracks it on the back end. But we're trying to kind of systematically go through the barns across the parish and increase the fuel capacity that we have. We pretty much live on a week-to-week fuel order basis. So by increasing this, we'll be able to keep more fuel on hand and not live so paycheck to paycheck on fuel, where we're running out of fuel, ordering fuel and filling it back up. We'll have a longer operating time with the fuel tanks.
You mentioned the airport.
It's our airport barn. It's located off of Airport Drive, North Shore Drive in Slidell.
Jay, it seems to be said the more fuel that we can hold or have capacity for, it's a more cost-efficient way of doing business than having to come out every week or whatever.
I don't know that it's going to be any more cost efficient. We're going to have the same company under contract that we're getting fuel from. We just will be able to have enough fuel for several weeks at a time and not we're running our tanks from full to empty, and as they're getting empty, and it's going by on like a week basis. So we're not able to run more than like 5 to 7 days out before needing to order fuel. So this will just help give us a larger supply to not have to refuel so often. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're just trying to find a return on that investment.
That's right. I don't mind spending money if it's money well spent.
The third item that we have under Public Works Fleet Management is 3 different items. It's a 100,000 kilowatt or 100 kilowatt generator at the Tyler Street complex. We had problems with that generator earlier this year, and we were able to make some repairs to keep it limping along, but it needs to be replaced. It's definitely reached the end of its useful life at this point. So we've put that on the budget. The roll-off grapple truck, this is converting. We've got a large tow truck, and it's been too large to get into certain parking lots and parking areas. So the staff felt that it'd be more beneficial. I think a new grapple truck costs around $300,000. We're going to be able to use the body and the frame of this tow truck and convert it into a grapple trash truck. So this would be like during the tornadoes or hurricanes when Public Works picks up debris. We'll be able to use this to supplement the 2 trucks that we already have that are kind of aging in our fleet at a much discounted price of $80,000 instead of $300,000. And the third item that we have on the list is swivel loaders. These are also used on a day-to-day basis to load materials at our different barns. We've got 3 of them on 2025 budget. I believe they are $215,000 a piece. They're also used during hurricanes when we do the push. Public Works handles a lot of clearing the roads and right-of-ways, and so these come into effect, and they're a big benefit for our department and for the parish after a storm.
How many of those do you have?
We have 6 on hand right now at 6 different barns across the parish, so this would be getting 3 more to make 9 total.
One each at the barn?
So we've got 12 different barns right now. So over the past 2 years, we've ordered 3 of these each year. So after 2 years, we now have 6, and then this is the 3rd year we're looking to do that to increase to 9.
Okay.
And I believe that concludes all of the items that I have for Public Works assets.
That's all the assets? Okay, any more questions from any council members? Anybody else in the administration? Okay, so who would,
Now we go to facilities capital asset.
facilities would be next. Please just go ahead and state your name and proceed with your presentation.
Hi, my name's Jim Ford, Director of Facilities at the parish. We have a department of approximately 24 people, and we take care of all the infrastructure, all the facilities across the parish. And I'm here to discuss the actual asset request that we put in for this year. So the first capital asset, it's noted under the Highway 21 Economic Development Fairground Arena. It's a tractor with attachments. We're replacing a 1993 unit. It's at its end of its useful service life. It breaks down quite a lot. And when we have a show, a horse show or a barrel racing show or something like that, tractor's needed to actually smooth up the grounds in between runs. We also use it to take care of the gravel along the driveways there and even it out. And the tractor goes integral in actually prepping the fairground dirt for all kind of activity. So it's been repaired quite a lot. We've had Public Works come to the rescue, helping us out when the tractor breaks, but it's not optimal there with a 1993 tractor. The second request we have is under the general fund. It's a light duty truck. I'm of the notion that all facility trucks, we're going to start trying to reduce the footprint size of the amount of trucks we have. Also, we don't need the big heavy trucks that it was had in the past. So we're asking for light duty trucks strictly for facility maintenance. This truck is replacing a 2001 vehicle. It's got about 183,000 miles on it, and it's at the end of its service life. So it's about 23 years old. We're also replacing a zero-turn mower. This is at Coop Drive, replacing a 2019 model. We had a 2019 model that we had done extensive repairs on this year. And this one actually had some severe engine problems, and I said, stop. We're going to try and replace that.
Wear and tear reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. These zero turns are going out in heavy duty fields, you know, like 10 and 15 acres out the locks and things like that. They go up and down. So I'm not happy with replacing one this young, but looking at the maintenance on it throughout the year, it's just not cost effective to keep repairing it. I don't know if it's a lemon or what, but that's where we are with that.
So let me ask you,
I can't tell you offhand right now, but it's a heavy duty commercial. I may come up with it in a minute.
Red?
Huh?
Red?
Yeah. Yes,
What
sir.
is that, Gravely? Gravely, whatever?
No, it's not Gravely.
let me ask you, what area is that cutting or servicing?
It services Coop Drive. It services the locks. It services the levee board areas.
Oh, so it travels to different
Yeah.
locations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Has it ever been looked into the possibility of contracting out all
Yes,
that
I'm
grass
working
cutting?
on that as we speak.
But you are looking into it.
Yes, sir.
You wouldn't want to buy a new lawnmower before you look into that, would you?
Well, it's going to be we're going to have both. We're going to do some in house and some kind. I can't contract everything out.
Okay.
I think we have some HR issues if I did that, but I got to.
I didn't know if you meant you were looking to contract specifically what that piece of equipment was taken care of.
Right. No, sir.
Just a portion of it.
Just a portion of it. Right.
Okay. Any other questions?
Oh, I've got a couple more.
We'll proceed.
Internal Service Fund at Safe Haven. We're replacing a 2004 zero-turn mower there, and that's 20 years old there. And if you've been out to Safe Haven, that's about almost 50, 60 acres of field that we mow out there continuously. So,
Yes. And that area looks like it needs to be handled by a contract grass
Correct.
cutter.
Right.
It looks
We've-
awful
we've-
every time I'm going out there.
right. We this year we've actually got what I call the North 40 contracted out, and I'm trying to get our two guys that are on site that take care of that to do the entrance ways and right around the immediate facilities. So we're rescoping and redoing the whole grass maintenance of that area. So
It needs it. And the entrance ways look really nice now, but there even you can see the mulch is starting to kind of fade, like it needs to be maintained better.
right, and so it's an interesting. I'm glad you understand it and see that, and it's a dynamic I'm trying to change internally to the organization, and that attention to detail in the front entrance and where we want to bring high interest to right away. I'm trying to make sure that they take care of that and we take care of the rest of it, that I don't need to be mowing the back 40, every 2 or 3 times a month. It may need only like once or twice a month, that sort of thing, so that at least it's maintained, but doesn't have to be immaculate in the back. Because we got a lot of low areas that retain water and a lot
Sure,
of things
it
like
makes it
that back
difficult.
there.
So you're working on a program to get it to where it's going to look nice and be maintained properly.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And the last thing that we're asking for is internal service fund, Coop Drive, forklift. It's a 1978 electric forklift. I think we inherited that forklift when we took over Champagne Beverage. So it's that old.
It's a good run.
It's a good run. It's needed. We have some high racks in the warehouse there that we actually put a lot of tents and some other equipment that are up there. We also load trucks with the forklift, and every once in a while we use it a little bit for some changing internal lights and things like that inside the warehouse.
You say warehouse, Jim, you're talking Coop Drive.
Coop Drive,
Okay.
correct. Back by
I don't even know where the warehouse would be.
Building 3.
Building C?
Building C.
Okay.
Yeah. We have some 20, 25 foot
Gotcha.
racks in there, and that's a whole nother project that I'm working on to clean that out as well, and maybe reduce that footprint as well as we move on.
Okay.
And that's my asset request for this year, sir.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions? Good job. So next is, who's Mary? Daniel.
Oh, sorry, Grant.
Oh, Mary. All right, Grant.
And Grant Black, Director of Department of Technology. My department oversees cybersecurity, network administration, system administration, desktop support, help desk, geographic information systems, and archives. If you turn to page 2 at the bottom, it's the 4801, which is our IT specific department. This is all these assets are part of a 3-year network overhaul, which we're in the middle of. This is the last phase. This is the replacement of the network backbone. Some of this equipment goes back to 2013, some of it's 2017. This is going to get us a 10 gig backbone for the parish. The last part of that is uninterruptible power supply, which is basically a battery backup and surge suppressor, large scale for this particular building here at Towers. We've had some power issues here where it kind of goes up, goes down. We have some spikes. Internet will go down for the people that are renting here. This will basically stabilize that. Turn to, I think, the last page. I've got one more for geographic information systems, which is 4803. Our plotter, which is only, I think, 3 years old, but we have got I guess we've had a lot of maps printed out based on the prior election that just happened. We've gone from about 1,000 maps a year. We had 2,500 so far this year print. The plotter's just worn out.
That's here in this building?
No, that isn't Coop Drive. So we typically take the most used plotter and we move it to the EOC for emergencies, and then we put the new one in place at Coop. So we kind of rotate through because it's just there's less used at the EOC. It's only used for events.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Another question, Grant, because I know I'm a high user of it. Is there a way you could start billing us for it? Because, I mean, I think,
Per print?
yeah.
So we bill constituents if they come in and they ask. We have a charging fee for printouts. We could back charge, cost allocate the prints to it based on usage and just do a total number of prints expected on the device and then allocate that way.
Leslie, would that be any benefit to us?
That's if you're, is that for plotter, your GIS, or your technology department?
That is in GIS.
You would have, yeah, they're not part of the cost allocation plan, so you would have to provide documents to it, but yeah, we could backfill.
Okay.
Why would we want to do that?
Yeah. What's the?
Well, I mean, instead of like, you know, part of the I mean, we're a huge user of that, but right behind you is proof positive. Like we just printed those up. So, and they're very expensive in the private market. Like if I went, how much would that be if I went and got printed that at
That printout, $15, $20.
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Full color, high resolution image. It's
Are there any more questions? All right. Thank you so much. Great job. Mr. Hill.
Daniel Hill, Director of Engineering. Capital requests included 5 vehicles. I believe 2 of them were out of our capital fund. Our department has a capital division and a development division. 3 of them were out of development division. Only need 4. The request was put in June. We had a new drainage inspector come on board that needed a dedicated vehicle. We pulled a pool vehicle from the drainage inspector, and we're functioning just fine with the number of pool vehicles we have. So again, request for 5 vehicles. Only need 4. They're 18 to 20 years old, have repeated issues, 100,000 plus miles. This capital asset for these vehicles would put Department of Engineering with all new vehicles. I would not expect an additional capital asset for vehicles within the next 5 years. So.
Are you gonna take that out of capital engineering or development?
It could be out of the capital engineering. The one that said for new drainage inspector position? Yes.
And the 3 here are the $44,000 a piece. Seems to be a modest price for the vehicles.
You said you found one,
Yes, ma'am.
so you only need 4.
All right, any other questions?
No.
Okay, what's next?
We're done
Anything?
with capital assets.
Oh, that was it.
I can't believe we wasted that time for that.
We're trying now.
All right, let's grab a 5-minute break. and start capital assets.
Okay.
Well, now, well, ask about
You
that.
have a question?
I got a question for the group. 3 out of the 4 of you, my suggestion is that you guys need a project planner. And I'd like to know whether that's a value-added asset for your organization. When I watch you guys work and when I try to get queries on things, if you had a project planner, it's significantly less expensive than any one of the 3 of you guys. And have you distracted by that, tracking, for example, when a proposal gets submitted, an RFP gets released, when your open dates, to have all that stuff, being able to lay that out in a schedule, I think would be an asset. I'm not talking a project manager, just a project planner would be a staff resource.
And I jotted that down when you mentioned it earlier today, but I was thinking we have project managers and I don't know exactly what the distinction between a project manager and a project planner would be.
Project planner looks across all your projects and is looking at a master schedule that sees what's going on and providing you top line information on major milestones. A program manager, project manager is executing specific projects, but it's somebody to kind of keep a handle. I mean, I'd like to be able to reach out as a, hey, I'd like to know everything that's happening in District 13. Give me a project plan, show me all the projects you got coming up, when they're going to show up, what the major milestones are, and when they're going to occur. Not to a detailed plan level, but when is it going to go out to bid? When's the bids going to be open? When you're going to start design, or when did design occur? That just some major milestones, I think would be very helpful. I know just from my perspective, having done it, I would think that for the team here to have that kind of visibility quickly into what's going on in the different districts would be very, very helpful.
Gotcha.
So-
And to build off what Jeff's saying, I know, especially when you're dealing with us, that person would be our point of contact to call your department. Because I know, like, I'll give you for instance, it was election day last year, my election, and they're tearing up my street. And my neighbor's like, "What's going on, Councilman?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And to have somebody to call, and that person's like, "Oh, this is what this is going on," type thing. Because we do kind of get siloed in y'all's departments, like when we're calling.
Anything else that anyone would like to discuss? Well,
Anybody, do you guys have any other, I got Jay's opinion, do you guys think that'd be a value? I don't want to push something on you that you don't think you need, but I've never functioned in an engineering organization that didn't have a staff person as a project planner.
Yeah, and I guess previously, I guess the duties of a planner would have been distributed amongst staff, but I think we're reaching a point that a dedicated personnel for that, for providing the updates and getting the information across would be valuable.
Yeah, in a very small organization, I mean, like you notice I didn't mention it for like Grant's organization. He's got little projects he's working, but those are so small relative, and the volume is so small. The volume is so small compared to what you 3 in particular work on. I think it'd be, I just from the outside, I think it'd be a huge asset for you. But I also don't want to force something on you that you don't think you need.
oh, it's Mr. Phillips.
Joe's running.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed Jeff brought up also was if there was some kind of standardized slide, it was color coded to show progress, like red, green, yellow, phases of whatever, that it's standard. I mean, like I'm jumping around trying to find, where I'm at and everything, but it'd make things go a little bit quicker, I think, if you could just look, oh, there's a color code, this is red, oh, why is that red? Like, can we talk to that, so.
Government quads.
I have another question. Jay, do you think it would be more efficient or effective for your crews to work 4/10s and then have Friday for overtime opportunities? Just as a point of discussion.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting hearing y'all talk about that earlier today too. You're working 5 days, so you're mobilizing more, you're bringing the equipment out 5 days a week versus 4 days a week. Maybe you can have a longer day and get more done if you were only out there 4 times versus 5. I know a lot of our guys out in the barns, the majority, if not all of them, are on the 80-hour schedule. So they're getting there at 7 o'clock, leaving at 3:30 with a 30-minute lunch. I think it's definitely worth looking into, for sure.
Good.
Yeah, we did it at the last place that I worked, because we were spending too much time in mobilization each day. to get the start up and wind down in terms of turning on a factory and then turning it off. And so we switched to get more usable value added time and as a percentage of our total work week than having as much. When you start looking at percentage of time you spend doing setup and tear down, you're in your case driving to and mobilization and then returning equipment back to the shop versus actually doing the real work.
For the grass cutting, let's just keep our ditch digging. Let's do ditch digging.
Okay.
How far does the equipment, do we have ditch digging equipment at every barn?
Yes.
Okay, so that each barn will just service their own radius.
Correct. So the barn areas are kind of similar to the council districts. So we've got 14 council districts, we've got 12 barns. So the areas are maybe a little bit bigger than the council districts, and a lot of the barn areas overlap multiple different districts, but they're geographically located close to the barn.
How far is the most somebody would have to travel?
Probably our Bush barn. Bush, they're covering from Bush all the way over to creeping over towards Folsom, coming down towards Covington, and Abita, our Bush barn services all the way down near Abita. So they probably have geographically the furthest distance to go.
Yeah, so the 410 system would probably let them do more work, spend less time traveling.
If you're making 4 trips out instead of 5, you're cutting it down by 20%. So.
And then Grant, to ask you, like we're talking about project planner. Could we have could you look into recommending some software that we could all be on?
So we've just implemented Monday.com in my department. I just find it easy. I can update it from my phone. I can read it from my phone, tablet, anywhere you are. It's cloud-based. We track all of our projects through that as of about 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I've got a big display screen. When you come into my department, everyone walks past that display screen, sees the status of every project when you walk in.
Because I think we were all on the same software and we had read-only access. We could call our staff and be like, hey, what's going on in my neighborhood?
Well, that's the goal, for you guys to be able to go out, look at the project, say, hey, what's going on? Where's this project? When's it supposed to be finished? You basically see the status of the project online, real time.
Cool.
Good deal. Does anyone else have any questions? All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time.